Grad. Everybody are grad. That's important. I guess a lot did say that to get notice today, which is good to know because I have not done this yet, so I will have to do this everyone else as well. Anyone else? Anyone want to share any results from vibe coding week? Anyone get some good vibe coding in?
I got example. Oh, go ahead.
I have a negative experience with vibe coding. So like it was not able to write unit test.
Like just because something like compiles doesn't mean that it will actually like run, right? Like for example, in Android, if you're testing something, like a lot of classes, like a final class in my Pluto, like you can't mock it, right? You can't mock a final class. So like, but you know, the AI is like, oh yeah, this compiles, so this works. So that tries to run it to like suggest this idea, like, oh, mock this class is final. It's like, or it'll throw it as like a do not mock exception for some other reason. It's like, no, you can't do that. You can't mock this, right? So it is, it's when it works really well, but sometimes it like makes like really critical like logic errors. So about
it's a question. So when we pass context, is it just like code or documentation, or is it like, is there a way, for example, to have like a team-wide context saying, like, for example, every time?
I need G3 doc as well, but I think some people, this is not something I do because I've never needed that level of context. Some people just create like a context.md file in their workspace that never goes into a TL, but context always has that.
Yeah, maybe a shared you can like create one for the team, like the context is sufficient for every.
I think you don't want that because loading context takes a lot of tokens as well. So like if you add that as a default thing, and so ideally your model should not, in one of the talks they mentioned, should not have more than 32,000 tokens. Even the model can take up to 1 million tokens. I think after that the performance does get like a little bit less good, or like it's not as reliable as you would want. So you want to use the context a little bit creatively, at least for now. You don't want to have the same context for everything.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
You know, in when you do the context, there's a drop-down command for prompt. You need to customize your prompt, and that seems to be the place where you would you can have several of them, right? Like a live creation prompt, like a unified camera prompt, and then you could specify very specifics there. Just makes a markdown file.
I don't know. Also, like one thing I realized in last week is that you ask a question, you had like 5-6 files, you ask a question, and then prompt will give you something, and next time
LLM to parse a diagram. But I have had Ducky create diagrams for me. Like I'll tell it, like I'll tell it the requirements for something I want to do, and it will create a diagram, like a design diagram, and I'm like, whoa, crazy. Like, I think that there's some tool in Google where like, you can like create diagrams from like some markup language, diagrams. It's crazy. But yeah, good stuff. What about anyone else? Anyone else want to share any vibe coding anecdotes, or want to move on? We're already 12 minutes in, so if you want to move on again. All right, Chris, do you want to lead us with the bug triage? Chris, you're muted. Chris, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, I was muted.
All right, good, yeah.
I'll just share my screen and we can go through it.
Yeah. Go for it. Open up the LC inbox and lead us through.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, lead us through.
Okay, cool. All right. So I just made a few notes. Let's see, where's that at? Okay, so there are some tests that are failing. A new one and a bug was filed for it automatically was the staging guitar test. You guys might know about that one already, but let's see, that's an Android.
I don't know who's on call, but a lot of the tests, at least the hermetic ones, are failing because the installing is failing on devices.
Okay. That one provides us a warning to our inbox specifically. The other ones don't seem to have a warning for us, or at least a bug wasn't generated. But that one, I think there are some dependencies on it, so it's probably a higher urgency. So I don't think that bug is let me just double check. I don't think that particular bug is assigned to anybody, so if there's an Android person that we can assign that to, then we can triage it. This is the live staging guitar test.
I think,
Uh,
unfortunately,
Yeah,
Henry's on call, but Henry seems to be fixing a lot of this.
you can assign to me. I can take a look this week, maybe. Yeah.
Assign
Thank
to
you,
you,
thank you,
that's
thank
okay?
you.
All right, let me do that then. Me, and then we will triage that. So that one will come off our list. All right, cool. There are mobile harness tests which have been failing for quite a while. I didn't unfortunately get to do any work on those.